Hello everyone, this is going to be Cueist here, Marcus, who has just been released on test server. I know everyone has seen quite a lot of videos on him already, but we'll go through everything in detail as well. And that also goes with some tests and some clarifications on certain stuff too. But let's get in towards the video, shall we? This will be his 360-degree view. He has some cue balls on his knees, some cue ball on his hands, and on his hair too. And this is his basic attack animation. As you can see, they're very similar to, I don't know whose that is, but it looks like Ripper's chip hit damage. This is what the animation looks like. And for his charge attack hit, it basically looks like that he's trying to, you know, cue ball a survivor in the head in the less gross text way. Now then, for our first ability, it'll be called Contact Point. So Contact Point has an 11-second cooldown, and you begin the game with 3 contact points. You can make contact points like these where it's a straight line, and then, you know, you can place as much as 4 down before it closes by itself, just like this. However, for a contact point, one thing that you need to realize is that the distance that you can place is up to 35 meters. So this is the max distance, and the minimum distance is actually 4 meters. So if I step back here a little bit, as you can see, it's a bit red. You're not allowed to place it down towards each other because it's way too close. So do keep this in mind too, that it has to be between 4 to 35 meters. Now, of course, next one will be Maxwell's Demon. If we press our aura ability, you can see you can kind of direct which direction you want to go in this cue ball form, and you immediately teleport in, and you're basically a cue ball as you're teleporting and dashing across the map. This is his Maxwell's Demon form. And of course, from his Maxwell's Demon's form side, you do also have a dismounting ability called Backspin. And for Backspin, you press spacebar, and as you can see here, this is the distance you can kind of go around with. And I'm just going to drop down here. You can see there's a slight animation before he's actually available to go once again. When you backspin, you do get this type of inertia. In a trait passive ability, I can show it to you guys here too. So I get in, and then I immediately get out. And here, as you can see, his inertia ability is here. Inertia's full description will be on the screen here, but it basically increases your interaction speed, meaning pallet dropping, window vaulting, attack hitting, etc. Well, attack speed recovery, etc., etc. And your movement speed boost by a certain amount of percentage. It's between 10 to 20%, but you'll see here on the screen yourself anyway. So that is this guy's in a passive too. Hello everyone, this is Edekudo here. I forgot to add in the second part of his inertia ability, which is for each injured survivor, his buff will be increased by 2.5 seconds here, as you can see on the top here too, highlighted. You can see the first one is before no injured survivors, and the second one is with 4 injured survivors here, as you can see too. Now we'll move on towards his fourth ability, which is called Closed Domain. And what is Closed Domain, you might ask? So basically what Closed Domain is, let's say you have these 2 orbs down, you have these 2 cue balls down, and you're like, I want to place another cue ball down, but I don't want it to be connected. That is what Closed Domain do. Closed Domain, you press it, you can see it gets highlighted, and when you place another cue ball down, it does not connect anything on towards each other. This is really good, especially with the fact that if you want to create, you know, teleportation paths like this as well with your Maxwell's Demon nodes. And of course, for Maxwell's Demon nodes, this is the second part of the ability as well, and that is the fact that you can teleport to any of the nodes you want, as long as it is within range, as we backspin off here. Now, for a more detailed description of the Closed Domain, these last for a total of 80 seconds, right? And since these do last 80 seconds, when there are Cipher machines or survivor nearby, it will highlight the Cipher machine and the survivor. So here, as you can see, the Cipher machine is highlighted. It does not highlight the survivor. It does scan the survivor, however. But there you go. That's the survivor scanned. And then you can see the survivor after 6 seconds, if I'm not wrong, or maybe 5 seconds. But you're definitely going to be able to see the highlighted Cipher machine. And the survivor, I think the survivor scan is once every 37 seconds or 38 seconds. But it should be once every 38 seconds for the scan to happen. There's just 2 options here, but so like it's between 37 to 38. The second part of Closed Domain ability is actually you can reduce Cipher machine decoding progress by 20%. So like this is within range as well, you know. But in all honesty speaking, if we just place 3 down here and we do Closed Domain, what will happen here is it will highlight the Cipher machine, and after 6 seconds or maybe some odd seconds, yes, after 6 seconds, it'll scan the Cipher machine and it'll get rid of 20% of the Cipher machine decoding progress. This occurs every 37 seconds. So if we just wait here until until what? Until the domain closes. It will redo by itself, because we can't forget, right? Domain lasts 80 seconds. For the first 6 seconds, it'll scan and it'll reduce the highest decoding progress of the Cipher machine, so it only locks in one. Okay, it only locks in one of the Cipher, and every 37 seconds it will then be affected again. We're not too sure whether or not it can be the same zone. If you can only, okay, no, you know what? It can be the same zone. You can see there it just went down once again by another 20%. So it went from like 36 to 16 and then to 0. So there you go. This is quite a nice ability to have. Reducing 20% of Cipher machine decoding progress, honestly speaking, isn't bad for him. So he does have map control with a lot of chase too. Before we move on towards our second ability, I just want to turn on cooldown depletion so we can show you what his map control is actually like, or his teleportation across the map. I am a little bit laggy, so excuse me for this, but I will show you guys right now. So as you can see here, you can do this. You can close the domain, you can drop another one down outside, and then you can, oh, oops, I didn't dash to it. I'll need to try it again soon. But like, it is a bit iffy, right? I'm going to close the domain here once again. I'm going to deploy that one down there. I'm going to dash to it. Okay, I'm now here by myself. I can now go over. I should be able to deploy another one down somewhere. Hold on, let me check. I should be able to deploy another one then, but like you do get the point. I'm just laggy, so it's a bit hard to do. We'll try go across the map to make it easier for you guys. So I'm just gonna make this very long. We're gonna get into Maxwell's demon form, and I'm going to push that out. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna push that over there, and then once I'm in range, I can dash over. I can go over here. I'm gonna increase that again, and I will close here once again. I'm gonna put another demon note over there. Not demon note, but a cue ball over there. I'm able to teleport over. But like you can see here, right, how strong this actually is if you do it correctly. And you have 8 of these balls initially too. So let's not forget about that factor as well. But as once again, you can only stay here for 80 seconds at most. Well, 30 seconds, excuse me, at most. Okay, now we're going to look at his first ability, which is a cue ball. So basically what cue ball does is that it can travel across a path for 16 seconds. So we actually need to make this available first to use. But whenever it crosses a rocket chair, it will increase the speed of the trajectory. So here as you can see, the speed of trajectory keeps increasing, and you can actually lock survivors in these areas too. When you use cue ball too, you can actually capture survivor within a 7 to 11 meter radius as well. And you can actually bring it back to you too. So if we use our cue ball, so the survivor here gets absorbed, and then we can bring the survivor back to us in this same general direction. But like it can only be, well, there's a small distance if I'm not wrong. So if let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that confined zone. We see Perfumer. So what should happen with Perfumer here is I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to use my cue ball because we're very far away. She gets absorbed, and we can actually place it right in front of us. So this is actually the strong suit of it. No matter how far away they are, you can always grab them back to you. So you know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do. We're going to make a really, really, really long line. So that's number 1. That's number 2. And let's just say I'm going to put this as number 3. And I do a cue ball over. Let's see if Perfumer gets grabbed. So Perfumer does get grabbed, and I can immediately teleport Perfumer to me. So that's basically how strong his cue ball is as well. Okay, let's show it to you here, right? So I'm gonna use AI control for this just because, you know, my network is really bad, so I can't show this to you in very, 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 very fast speed. But basically what's going to happen here is we're gonna throw a cue ball in. We're gonna close the domain first. We will throw a cue ball in, enable AI, and then I'm gonna hit Perfumer. You see Perfumer here being hit. Perfumer just got sucked in, and then Perfumer can be deployed down here, and then we can hit Perfumer here once again. But what if I do another cue ball? I hit Perfumer. Perfumer got sucked in. I'm still on cooldown duration, so I'm gonna deploy her down there, and I hit Perfumer down. There we go. That's all what you needed to know. That's his double hit share capability that you wanted to know. Now there's also another thing too that I just found really interesting, and that's actually his cue ball. You see, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a very big range, so it's very, very easy to see. And then in this case as well, we are going to close the domain. I'm going to pick Perfumer up here, and we'll drop Perfumer back down, and I'll reduce her fear so she's actually alive. But now you see she's within this zone. What's really funny is cue ball actually doesn't have a range limit. So if I'm all the way back here, I throw a cue ball over. Oops, wrong one. I throw a cue ball over. You see the cue ball going around that area. I think I just caught Perfumer. And I brought Perfumer right over here. That is crazy, isn't it? We can actually try here once again. I'm going to do a 2 straight line just like this so it's easier for me. And I'm going to go towards the exact opposite side of the map. So let's say I am going to go here. You see that straight line? I'm going to cue ball. I got Perfumer. I drag Perfumer back. Gosh darn, that's crazy. This is honestly really good. His map control is insane, especially with his teleport control as well on that side. But that's what everyone needs to know. That's hilarious. Let's look at Cueist's last ability then. So his max ability is actually 10% reduction on the cooldown duration for his cue balls. So this actually regenerates 10% faster right now, as you can see on the screen too. And of course, the next one is his actual, you know, when he drawbacks, when he backspins, when he's back on the ground. So let's say we use Maxwell Demon's Notes here. There was a slower animation before, but now the animation is way faster. And then you can instantly go for a chase. You see how fast that animation is, right? So that's currently his max presence. I do think his max presence is going to be one of the more important ones. It's very, 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 very similar to another hunter that we know really closely to as well, with this animation increase. And who's that? That's Violinist when he deploys his second string down too. That's the best analogy I can give you. But this is all Marcus that I can give you. This is all about Cueist that I can give you for today. Do leave your questions down below. We will not be doing a video of Cueist with all survivors, because there's really nothing we can do about him to be honest with everyone as well, because he's a high map control character. But hopefully everyone enjoyed this video. If you do, why not leave me a like, and hey, if you're new around here, why not subscribe? I post daily videos from time to time, quote on daily. But hopefully everyone enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.